go for Rome. Guangzhou Gaming walking out with the winning trade.
And that's a sacrifice they were looking for. Mei had to tank the first damage, and that's when Guangzhou, alongside Modi and even Xing with the IMU Wrath of Dryad, decided to go in. Going for the re-engage against Team Spirit, and we're taking a look at it right now in the replay. That was a great two-man setup provided to us by Modi, but the follow-up from Xing, I feel, was really what made a big difference. And now Recall's free to take the objective.
Thunder's Wrath comes down. Guangzhou Gaming, they get the neutral objective and they back away instantly. Team Spirit are just getting outplayed around these team fights.
I'd like to think that the way they bursted down Mei was probably to them an opening, because you take down one of the front lines, but it didn't work out the way they expected it to. Now it's a tier 1 potentially falling down to the hands of Guangzhou Gaming. Spirit are not even able to defend it up close. It's just Sawo and Kid Bomba standing in front of them. There's just too much threat of backline. Although Modi doesn't have the flicker, but they'll just have to give up on this tier 1.
Team Spirit's structural advantage gone with one Lord. Guangzhou Gaming with a sweep on the tier 1s. Down below, mid, and up above, all gone, as Guangzhou Gaming will look to capitalize on his Lord advantage a bit more with the tier 2 up top. Xing, Bloodwings, Recall. With a bit of poke on Sawo, Bomba. Just two on the Falling Star Moon. Baits out the Wrath of the Dryad as well, as Mei is going to be able to look for the Airborne now on Bomba. Sawo with the pick. Sour E goes to the iframe. Sawo going to be taken very low, bursted out. Now it's Hiko torn apart. Memory over. Now it's Sour walking up as well. Hiko on the board with the stacks on the Sky Piercer. Sour walks up, but he cannot chase. Guangzhou Gaming instantly with the retreat after losing their XP. Sunset doesn't have the Thunder's Wrath.
They lost out on so much turrets. Guangzhou Gaming, the way that they've been playing this, at this point, we don't really see any lead between the two teams anymore. They've closed out the gap that's been existing, and we're looking at the replay just now. It looked like a fight that they still wanted to take. Modi actually found some setups here and there, but Sai had to focus down on Sawo, and that was a lot of time. That was a Belleric who definitely took a bit too much of their attention, and so they just probably really had to settle that. Also train one in the process, but it's still a huge advantage for Guangzhou Gaming nonetheless. You see a lot of turrets already taken down, and them starting to transition into a playstyle where it feels like they're just guarding all around Sai, who's already 3-0 on a carry, and looking like a massive threat now that we're approaching the 12-minute mark of the game. So it's surprising to us, I feel, to see Spirit in this situation again, because I feel like entering this matchup, considering the matchup, you would really consider that the underdogs would be over to Guangzhou, but it's another potential upset all over again.
At this point, the upset would be if Spirit wins, right? It's the favorite teams losing out. That will be the real upset after yesterday's outcome. Oh my god, I mean, you're right. Guangzhou Gaming also have great scaling now. Team Spirit are going to have to look for those creative angles. Sawo again with the opening. On the Revitalize on Belleric, though, you just lose out on so much proactivity, right?
I agree.
It's just all about reacting to your opponents. It comes down to Bomba making the plays on the Esmeralda, and that's certainly very difficult with a carry on the hands of Guangzhou Gaming.
Yeah, it's like hopefully Sawo lasts long enough so that they can find some other angles around the team fights as long as Sai has his attention on him. But that's the thing. Will their targeting change? That's the ultimate already used by Sunset Lover.
But a flicker burned out by Xing. Tectonic charge in the throne of ruin, misses Hiko by just a bit. Sawo able to go in, and now it's going to be Sour walking up, capitalizing on the flicker, already used up. Now the Purify burned by Sai. They're going to go for the retreat. Sour with the steal. Bumble with the flicker in forward, and Sour still able to survive as Hiko picks up another. It's a Mega already for Hiko as he looks to go for more stacks on the Sky Piercer. Finally, a team fight win for Team Spirit.
Guangzhou still wanted to fight that, even though Team Spirit clearly already took down one. And we're in really great position to go for the contest. No one was really watching out for Zar Ego with this recall too. I feel like he was kind of split between having to fight back and just focusing on the objective. Oh, the damage. Yep, you can see it already, especially through Sai.
That burst is nothing you can ignore, man. For Guangzhou Gaming, they really got to be decisive with the plays. One wrong move from Main, you can see the punish instantly. You need to find these tech charges on these vulnerable targets. If you miss it by just a pixel, which happened earlier, Modi couldn't capitalize on the tech charge. Sunset on recall with that burst, forcing him to back away. Now it's a 4v2 up top as they're trying to get this base turret down. But Spirit will respect Guangzhou Gaming. They built up the lead back to where it was all the way in the early game, and they're going to be happy with that. Whoa, Berserker's Fury for Hiko on the Brody.
Okay, as I was saying, I was supposed to say, Guangzhou, at least you saw from that last team fight their understanding of who needs to be targeted in this current part of the game, right? It felt like they were just trying to focus down on Hiko. That was a setup attempt from Mei. There was follow-up from Modi. But Hiko was just a bit too quick to react as well. The fact that he is already 4-0 as well is not looking as good with the Maleficent pickup and the Sky Piercer. I think he is going to be a bigger problem right now for Guangzhou. On top of the fact that Zar Egoist seems to be a bit too free as well in just trying to find these targets. Right now, Guangzhou, we understand the idea, but the execution has to be more precise. If they really want to go for Hiko, you gotta land those skills.
And if they don't land those skills, Zaur, I mean, even if they do, Zaur can just go untargetable. That's one, right?
Yeah.
But if they do get him, Hiko's a big problem now. I'd love to see the items. Berserker's Fury. What? You do a bit of true damage now, so I guess it's good for the shred on these very tanky boys up front. But usually when you want to shred, you go for like GESSS, right? So I'm wondering what the Berserker's Fury is all about. I'm going to have to catch him later on and try to ask him about this Berserker's Fury.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of interesting choices here. Oh, but that's Conceal. Winter Crown pickup available also for Modi. I think there's another Conceal coming in too.
Alright, just Conceal for Conceal. They're a trade already. Good damage on Modi. Bottom lane, slow pushing for Mr. Hiko. Great for Team Spirit. They know Guangzhou Gaming can't send anybody down below. They're gonna have to stick, and that means this base turret will be the next forced error for Team Spirit against Guangzhou.
Okay, at least Xing has the Wrath of Dryad again, but they have to layer their skills really, really well. You see the buffs already on Sai. You understand what they're trying to play around, but it's a burst from Guangzhou.
They're gonna go straight for it. Thrown a ruin, that's on nobody. Wrath of the Dryad from Sawo. Now it's a stun, and the Sky Piercer goes through. He bursts him down. Recall with a retreat witness. Now Sauer walks up, and he dodges away from the untargetable already. Sawo enemies of it all. Sunset walking out. Hiko with a jump again. With a double already. Jumps on side and gets bursted down. Oh, my goodness. Before he gets shut down, he finds the last hit with a fadeaway. Recall all alone against two. Zar with the chase is Recall. Gets into the bush. Zar with the chase again. He doesn't have the stacks, but he's going to be able to walk up with a killing spree again. It's Sunset with a walk. Sauer gets the killing spree. And they get rid of the last member of Guangzhou Gaming.
Oh my goodness, I think we have to see that team fight one more time. Just to understand the entire sequence and process, we take a look into the replay, and yes, the Throne of Ruin didn't land, but also we saw the exact same scenario all over again. It was just Guangzhou trying to deal with members of Team Spirit 1 at a time. It was Sawo first, but even Sawo, it took a while for him to go down, and all the while they were having or trying to burst down these front lines, Hiko was just there. He was just throwing out all these long-range basic attacks, and no one from Guangzhou was ready to answer back.
Did you see that damage? No wonder he went Berserker's Fury. It was the True and the Sky Piercer. True damage from Berserker's Fury and the Sky Piercer working in tandem. Executing Sai with a quarter of health with one basic attack. Hey, he might be onto something, this Hiko boy.
Yeah, how many stacks could he possibly have, right? If he's 7 kills, or not entirely sure if he got the Sky Piercer even before he got all these kills. Okay, it's 42. It's 42 right now. Not looking so bad, but
oh my god,
this is terrifying. Because at this point, you see the damage of a single basic attack.
What happened to his Berserker's Fury?
It's an immortality now.
I guess he sold it for the immo.
Yeah.
That's a very weird build. Heptasee's Haas Claws. Did he sell it for the Haas Claws, or did he sell it for...
No, he had the Haas Claws.
He buys the Berserker again. Oh, throwing a ruin on Asawo. Falling Sound to the back line now with the Wrath of Dryad as well to peel. But Bomba's able to flicker out as Hiko puts in those stacks. Sauer with a walk up again. It's going to be the winner crown from Modi to try to stay alive. Hiko missed that first skill. Couldn't get the torn apart memory. Now again, I want to see the items.
Okay.
What did he sell for the Berserker's Fury again? Did he sell the immo or the boots now? No, he has immo, so it's the boots. Or is it the Haas Claws?
Because I think he had the Haas Claws even a couple minutes ago.
Wait,
oh wait,
it's gone again. What?
What?
Wait, I don't get it.
Wait, he sold...
Boots, and then he bought Berserkers, but it's gone again. Is this a visual bug or is it actually gone? Did he misclick?
What is he going for now?
I got no clue, but like, he bought Berserker's Fury twice this game.
And he hasn't replaced it with anything just yet. Maybe we see it come in. Maybe.
I'm so confused.
Okay, yeah, it's actually the build.
Yeah, and
gua off dulu deh. Onyxnya masih lama jam 8, guys.
I want to see the Berserker's Fury.
Tapi Vitality nggak main ya?
He's probably looking to pick up something.
Did he sell the Berserkers by mistake? Oh god. Oh, he sells it for the win of nature. There you go, Sawo. For the walk-up first down on Lore, straight up with the carry and Team Spirit.
Yep.
We were too busy with the items. Maybe Spirit was as well.
Yeah. Guangzhou, I think the game plan worked this time. The fact that they went for Sawo first, but that was when they were off guard. They were caught off guard. Spirit were not able to respond. They were not ready, and they just barely had their members nearby to actually engage in a full-out punish against Guangzhou. So the moment that they were actually able to take that pick off, that was such a quick movement from Guangzhou. 20 minutes into this game, we still don't know, but the next pickup is going to be the Immortality gets swapped with the Malefic Gun again for Hiko.
Okay, I think there's a bug there because he also bought Wind of Nature, but it just shows 5 items. Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Okay, so he's had the Berserker's Fury. Yeah, that was just so weird. But okay, Wind of Nature. He sold the boots for the Wind of Nature. Now we know for sure.
Okay, I think this is the final answer right now. I doubt there will be any swaps from this point onwards, not unless we see the Wind of Nature actually getting used. Oh, Kid Bomba, that was really far positioning you see from him. Team Spirit, this is 21 minutes.
This is very scary. Sour gets caught by the barrier. Lord Evolve charging into that top side already. Thrown of Ruin and the Blinker catches Hiko. Oh, he just gets wiped instantly. Side bursting him down. Sour gets caught by a tech charge. Time to perfection. Sour bursted down. Bomba and Sunset left to defend against an Evolved Lord. Guangzhou Gaming strike first.
Such precise targeting and focus onto Hiko when it mattered the most. Moldy on that Alice with the setup. And the follow-up to Guangzhou. For the longest time, it seemed like they were always just after Sawo, but in that last moment, in that crucial game-ending siege, they got the target they needed to find the most. And Hiko, without the immortality, he had it earlier, but without it now, he was just a much easier target to take down, and we're not entirely sure if Guangzhou were aware of the fact that he didn't have the immortality at the time, but it was such a smart and quick decision that you get to see from Guangzhou Gaming as they secure game number 1.
A fantastic game number 1. Again, just capitalizing on these vulnerable backliners. The Eudora and the Brody worked well in the early game to get structures, to get a snowball, but that one big team fight set them back so far. And it gave Guangzhou Gaming the right opportunity to scale up to where the Alice and the carry could just carry through. And again, Modi. We've been seeing him on the Yuzong carrying through these group stage matches, now on the Alice as well, catching Hiko. Right as he sold his immortality for the Wind of Nature, man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I feel like what you said about the Belair, just waiting for Guangzhou, was a bit too true in this scenario. And even for Kid Bomba, I feel like there were just moments they were waiting for Guangzhou before they also got to set things up for the team, and that did not necessarily work out for them, because you see every single time it's Guangzhou starting the fights, it's almost them winning it every single time.
And in this meta, Brigada, it comes down to who makes the first move, right? It's all about tempo. It's all about you making that step, being the proactive team. So Spirit, with the draft again, they already kind of put themselves in a very reactive composition. They're forced to react to all the moves, and when this happens with an Evolved Lord, there is not much you can do.
Yep, it's just overwhelming crowd control that you see from Guangzhou as well. I think there's a bunch of things we gotta break down about that game, so we're throwing it over back to our panel.
Thank you, Mirko and Brigida. One of the exciting things about seeing these moments is that you see different regions have their opportunity in the sun to shine. And when the lights are bright, it seems like GZG have answered the call. Welcome back to the desk on Brain Day, joined by Naisu and Lafell. Naisu, China, one step away from making history.
This is again, this is how things have been going. You know, it's so exciting to see, and I feel like when you watch that game alone here, they made clearly some mistakes at the beginning, but they adjusted towards the end. I mean, even LaFell and I were wondering, like, some of those initiations from Modi on the Alice were questionable, but then that one at the very end where he caught 3 in the base, perfect. Even with the grok, right, from May, there was a couple tech charges that were kind of a miss, and then he landed some great ones. So again, this is the adjustments that they need to make. And now they have the upper hand against a team like Team Spirit. Yeah.
Suaramu juga kecil banget tau.
Suaraku kecil, emang iya. Coba aku gedein mixernya. Cek, masih kecil nggak? Cek, udah ya. Anjay. Kamu masih sama teman kamu yang? Iya masih banget.
They forced a lot of mistakes coming in from Team Spirit that made their team fighting a little bit more awkward.
They were very patient. They fought a lot around objectives. They didn't push towers. They were definitely not the aggressor in this game for most of the time. But they knew, I think, deep down, that once their lineup got going and the right team fighting,
lah kau malah kenapa bisa kena kayak cakar?
Approach from GZG.
Ya itu ngambilin tulang di giginya
The
nyangkut.
jungle is again something that a lot of teams aren't going to do. They put that in the hands of Recall.
Hati-hati lah.
Might have had a difficult time kind of maneuvering around fights here and
kucingnya
there,
yang
but it was
cakap
more
kok.
so finding those openings.
Ya hati-hati ngambilnya.
Also securing objectives early on
Ya
to get the team
kucingnya.
to have the support him to be able to do that. And now it makes sense too to have that Valentino.
Aduh.
99% of the time he's got the Rapid to draw. I don't think there was anything else that he took. So you can
Aku suruh ngedit video tau yang nanti aja kali ya live-nya ya malam ya, soalnya Onyx main malam sih. Ya udah ngedit video aja dulu ya biar beres videonya ya.
Ya emang astaga kamu, aku kira udah selesai video orang-orang.
Belum, main satu lagi yang belum.
Udah ngedit lah.
Valentina pick early. We were kind of questioning it.
Ya udah segame aja nih. Menunggu game kedua.
Gak usah sana ngedit, cepet kamu ngedit.
Game kedua.
Uranus wasn't available.
Sana ngedit dulu.
They also opened up a little bit from the Paquito and jungle not being EXP, allowed Alice to come in and do what she does best rather than trying to peel all the time.
Ngedit dulu Ki, emang Ki banget.
They had more than maybe they should have. LaFell, you took a look at some of the mistakes maybe Team Spirit made, but also some of the ways GZG were able to accomplish that. Break it down for us.
Yeah, honestly, like we gotta look at
Kamu
the
aja ngomong ke orang lah, aku temen kamu.
Listen, it's okay. Not too high, not too high.
Raise the camera for him, man.
So now, this is
Orang-orang siapa anjir? Itu kan konsumen, akunya kan lagi masang.
Ya emang konsumen kamu kalau kamu
Astagfirullahaladzim.
Pak ini kamu dokumentasi buat istri saya, soalnya istri saya nanyain dia lebih menghargai. Soalnya dia lebih
Lagian lagi di konsumen, astagfirullahaladzim.
Kamu kalau pintar juga.
Itu konsumen lagi pusing, astagfirullah yang kamu tuh yang.
Alasanmu aja banyak.
Ya Allah.
Bentar ya Pak sebentar ini dokumentasi buat istri saya.
Ya orang kata konsumen juga ini orang sibuk amat kayak gini katanya digituin aku sampai.
Allah. Ya karena kamu bilangnya teman makanya kamu digituin.
Ya mau apa Ge, orang akunya lagi ada kesibukan Ge, yang kamu tuh yang.
This is what team of Guangzhou Gaming want to do. They want to be able to actually secure all of these objectives. They want to be able to have good macro control.
Ya udah apa?
Bukan pacarku dia, Cok.
But look at what happened when the Eudora starts to be
jangan
involved
kita tanya Cok, jangan Cok.
We're gonna see the amount of stun, which is I believe 2 people got stunned here, and then the amount of burst damage. This is level 6 Eudora with not one item just yet, or just one item, and you can see the burst damage is a lot. Now, unfortunately, that's probably one of the only times that Team Spirit was able to win a fight where they're able to have a good AoE stoppage and then follow up with the damage. But then after that, it honestly went downhill. Because we're going to be looking at fights here where this is the awkward thing that I do want to say. Looking at how Modi as well as me engaged,
Harus
huge
tato,
AoE, and look at how spread Team Spirit is, or they're gonna be after this engage, and that's a good thing. You want to spread, you don't want to get caught. Everyone together. They have a draft that they can potentially delete one person with the Eudora as well as the Brody, but because they're separated, that becomes quite a bit awkward as we see the fight go in, boom bang, they split by top. And was like, okay, do I go to the top side or do I go to the bottom side to protect you guys? And we're gonna be continuing with the other clips here. This is where I would say Guangzhou also has to slow down just a little bit because they get a little bit too excited. And again, we see the potential, Eudora and Brody, quite a lot of burst. They go in, someone overextends, stun, and then burst.
Apa yang? Apa yang?
This happened throughout the game where Team Spirit
Apa sayang?
to go in, which
Not fun, thank you the follow.
Upcoming, maybe don't rely on that. I
Not
feel
fun,
like
follow
Valor
aku
should use
aja.
the flicker in this situation.
Mana ke
because
rumah, guys?
with the Brody having his 711
Follow aku
KA with
aja.
the Harara also waiting.
Oh,
for
minta
someone
di
to
follow
supply.
tuh, guys.
I
Ayang
feel like
aku,
just that
guys.
one change
Anjay,
could
Syasha
help, because
namanya
look at
tuh.
This is a mistake coming in from Guangzhou. They dive in a little bit too deep, and then eventually Team Spirit was able to capitalize. But imagine if you had a flicker on the Belleric, you could have flickered in and actually catch quite a lot of people here coming in from Guangzhou, and then after that
Kok
getting
kayak
the
gitu
Lord.
sih, kayak
and
ngelek
potentially could have ended
gitu
the
ya,
game.
memang kayak gitu
That is
ya.
a really good point
Enggak,
as well.
emang yang ngelek-ngelek kayak gitu? Masa sih?
Actually, the comment I want is
Enggak,
how hard is it really? Because
itunya.
Brigida says it's
Apa?
very difficult.
Oh,
You know, I'll tell
iya
you,
kali.
a lot of weight on
Info
that,
koin
a lot of muscle, man.
pumki,
Yeah, there's a lot
anjay.
all up.
Koin
Yeah,
apa itu, guys?
minutes
Saya
was an
tidak
endurance
tahu,
test.
guys.
You know, I think like, this is an endurance test for Team Spirit.
Yeah.
I have to
Kok dia kenal,
agree with
kok dia
Lethal too. I
dia
feel
mah itu siapa?
when it was in the
Tetangga.
draft, and you saw because we were throwing out some
Masa
roamers
sih?
that have revivals as well, got a contract
Astagfirullah.
revival. As soon as that wasn't picked up,
Semua
I feel like they
saja.
could just switch that revitalize on the Belleric and just taken up the flicker
Apaan
because
sih orang nanya
you
doang
now don't have
aja.
to fight revitalize for
Berlebihan
revitalize.
banget
And
sih
so,
ekspresinya.
yes,
Berlebihan
Capek
banget sih
sama gue.
ekspresinya. Lu
flicker
capek sama gue.
appreciation would have helped so much because it also alleviates some of the pressure on
lagi.
Kid Bomba to always be the one, because once he jumps in, he's just shredded down by the carry.
It's
Weh,
interesting
apa wahwe, anjay.
as well in the jungle. So both
Ini
of
nih
these
gua
kind
tuh
of
ada
mainstays,
efek,
whether
ada
it's
efek
Sao or
lipstiknya apa nggak sih, guys?
capitalize on space for
Astagfirullahalazim.
their team. We're going
Coba
with
lihat,
different
emang ada
objectives
efek
that
lipstiknya
did
ya?
not allow them to do what they normally did. So it was kind of like who can
Kayak ada
play the
efeknya
strategy
gitu
of
tuh,
ours the best.
coy.
I think that recall to me seemed like the most impactful point
Analisa,
because he was so
guys.
patient
Analisa
with how he
apa,
decided to
guys?
go in.
Analisa
And
apa,
when
guys?
he did go in, he made sure to have an impact.
That impact comes from allowing your gold laner to scale up the way that happens for
Aku
CY.
jadi aku
And
tap
that
layar loh.
beautiful-
Harusnya kamu berterima
beautiful
kasih. Kak.
combination
Makasih
of-
sayang aku, kamu udah tap layar. Emang sayang aku tuh paling the best, terbaik ya. Love you, muah.
We're going to see if they can continue on, or if in this final game, Team Spirit will play their final match of MSC. The key ready to be crushed. Guangzhou Gaming ready to make history for China as they have their chance to jump into the top 8.
For Team Spirit, if they want a chance here, they know that Guangzhou, they're gonna go for some kind of
Ya,
dive.
TS
And
apakah
counter
bisa
dive,
membalikan
you
keadaan
need
atau
the way to
Guangzhou
counter-engage as
yang
well,
bakalan
right?
menang,
It's good
guys?
that you're able to avoid the initial engage, but how
Itu
do you
suara
Siapa
mana?
sih yang
and
tanding?
that's something that
Hah?
you have to consider because
Itu yang tanding
Guangzhou is
apa
a
sih?
mature team.
Siapa
The
sih?
moment they know the engage
Nggak
is
tahu.
bad, they just back off and
Falcon
then try again.
sama
I like that point about maturity you
Tim
made,
Spirit
and the
sama
really
Guangzou
kind of
dari
set the
Cina.
conversation
Tim
earlier.
Spirit
Shout
itu
out
dari
to
PH
Matt
kalau nggak salah ya, guys ya.
these editorial conversations, but
Oh, Nick masih
Gaming
lama sih.
maturity is what was kind of on display for us. They usually
Iya,
have
gak
had
tertarik
histories
tuh
of
orang-orang
not
mah, orang
scaling well
kagak
into the
tahu
late
dia.
game, but Naisu, they were actually behind in game 1, and they found a way to kind of keep it together and then start trending upwards. Are you noticing that this is a little bit of a different GZG, or is that more on Spirit?
Aku ada
GCG.
koin nggak ya?
It's a little
Apa?
mix of both, I'd say.
Aku ada koin
a lot
nggak
of
ya?
the teams, I
Koin
feel
apa?
like just because of the nature of the compositions of meta,
Koin stok.
they're prone to making some mistakes. That's going to happen throughout a game. No one's going to play a perfect game, you know. So it's just how fast that these players, these
Thank you guys yang udah join, jangan lupa di follow, jangan lupa tap tap ya guys ya.
in the game, and not just from game to game, because that's what Team Spirit has to do now. They have to go to that drawing board, figure things out, because you got to remember too. Again.
Oke, drawing map. Dapat apa nih guys? Broken Walls, Danger Grass. Danger Grass, oh, bahaya sekali buat TS guys.
And for GZG, I mean the same thing. They're a team that is on this quest to make it for the
Ada
first time
koinnya.
into the knockouts.
Oh, udah jangan. Astagfirullah.
from making that happen.
Dayang.
Got some fans in the
Segala-gala
crowd as
jangan,
well.
giliran
I love
aja
the
sama
early
cewek lain
fans.
minta
Sometimes, you know,
minta.
it's tough to wake up.
Nggak usah sayang aku, udah ya. Makasih sayang aku. Ngomong.
But at the end of the day, if you're here,
Karena ada 33 jadi aku habisin 3 aja sih.
Ya udah jangan.
in MLBB history.
And again, they're going up
30-nya
against
aku
some
simpen
serious
nih.
competition
Ya
here.
udah.
It's a statement to say you made it to top 8 by taking down Team Spirit. Team Spirit is also a mainstay in
Thank you guys yang udah pada join, jangan lupa di follow, jangan lupa tap yuk guys. Bantu tap yuk.
Usually top 5 at least.
Yeah, top 5 at least, but every single time, I think the closest was the previous MSC back in 25. They were defeated by Onyx Philippines, and that was close. They already had 10 so they should have went further, but now, hey, c'est la vie, Team Spirit, they just make sure they get the Paquito early, and then the Valentina,
Amelia
again,
sudah bergabung.
this time with the
Selamat
Harara.
bergabung,
So
Amelia.
just a quick swap of the first picks.
Yeah, I like this though. You know, we kind of questioned that Valentina in the previous game, but Guangzhou Gaming has pretty much proven that.
Thank you guys yang barusan pada join, jangan lupa di follow, jangan lupa di tap yuk.
Take these quality ultimates from your opposing team and obviously
Yang nungguin Onyx.
second guess what they're going to bring up because you already locked in the
Yang nungguin Onyx ini guys.
Now it makes me wonder like
Kalau guys nanti dapat
Jungle,
aku.
maybe they might be like, we might do this too. We might flex it on you.
Paquito goal and use the link.
That's what I'm thinking because Hiko has played that goal in Paquito. You can grab the Ling just for that classic
Sayang, ada
matchup
pengen
we're used to
main
seeing.
game
We'll see
yuk.
if they
Kita
end
main
up
game
flexing it
yuk,
or
main game
not.
yuk.
So the
Yuk.
Dora and the Cho will get
Yuk.
picked up again. Cho was banned.
Yuk, main yuk, game aja yuk.
This allows you to go for those pickoffs
Nah.
with the Eudora really well. These should be just those two heroes alone should be an automatic kill almost.
This should already be
Yang itu afinitas tuh, ML tuh hilang tuh, kamu tuh ai.
And now Guangzhou they
Lah,
reply with the
Lah,
Moscow.
siapa yang unfollow jir? Emang gue.
Kamu
Orang gue yang
di
gak login.
di kamu gue.
So I'm liking the opening draft coming in from Team Spirit as well as Guangzhou. Quite a lot of interaction between the two.
Afinitasnya
Again,
tuh.
with the Moscow being in play here,
Afinitas,
makes me wonder if we do just see the
afinitas.
gold lane matchups
Oh,
now.
kalau
But
unfollow
Team Spirit
terus
will
nggak usah
play
aku
on that
bikin
because so
afinitas.
many teams still kind of, if there is a flexible hero that can be flexed, and that has developed over these days as well, then they'll play that into the draft because it also changes some of the focus on the bans. But you can see this just in case Guangzhou Gaming's like, you know what, we'll just ban out some more gold laners, so they do take out that Clint. Again, the Mozkov is so deadly just because of the mere fact that he can pretty much just stay in his lane, push it, farm up, do his thing, play the off map, and then join the fights if the SOD lands.
Crazy enough, that was the strength of the
Was
character.
the
but
triumph
in game one.
in game
they
one.
moved up and they committed to that group up. Obviously playing the lineup well. We'll see if maybe swapping over to the Mozkov allows them to be as effective as the Uranus.
Thank you guys yang udah pada join, jangan lupa di follow, jangan lupa di tap yuk.
Yeah, that's crazy. And now
Emang bisa.
That's you guys.
Ya afinitasnya yang astagfirullah.
it's not a competition.
It's like we're dedicated.
Astagfir.
It's like we love the game. or something. Anyways, yeah, the Uranus gets banned out as
Itu
well
oke
as
sih,
the
kalau bisa
Esmeralda
mah
here.
ya.
It's good ban on the
Itu
Esmeralda because
kalau
right
bisa
now for
udah.
Guangzhou they don't have a proper front line yet. So what else is there? At least in the EXP, I mean, like I guess they can pick up the Alice again. Oh, the Belleric is still open.
You can technically flex that if you want.
Rarely do we see Belleric being in fourth pick though, right?
Yeah.
Usually the first three.
I think that's because the Valentina kind of worked against that. And I think they warded off, so it's like we prioritize that. And I think it's been smart.
I do have to say though, right now the draft does look a bit difficult for the Children to
Sudah aku
actually
blok
get a
Firman.
good kick in. But hey, you know what? If you're
Yang
here,
yang masa ada aku komplain.
Hah?
right?
think anything's
Pick a
possible.
target and then
Yang Alifa marah aku
Still
blokir.
available, but is the
Siapa yang blokir? Oh, TikTok.
so much obviously Paquito's
Aku kan
most likely
blokir kamu di TikTok dia marah.
Right? Yeah.
And so Harley picked up.
Ih, parah dah.
This
Oh,
one's
wow.
if it's going gold or not. So it's going to be EXP Barrett's, and then it's going to be that gold lane Paquito. That's what I was saying.
Dia ngefans loh
Now
sama kamu
it's
loh.
three
Emang iya.
teams, basically that you can see the Paquito go to.
Iya dia.
So,
Aduh, ngebuffer, guys.
That's the game plan here for Team Spirit. They really want to burst a member down and get an upper hand in terms of numbers.
maybe we'll see Paquito mid.
Yeah, you know what?
I've
Dia dia marah. Kenapa
I've
diblokir
heard a
ya?
lot of yeah, right now for Team Spirit, they're using a
Lagian
draft
kamu ngapain
where a lot
blokir?
gets picked up. So the moment a Cho or a Harley overextends, the Kaja can help them get a kill.
That's what he says when he ulted. When he has divine judgments.
Kaja.
Dude, they're digging deep into the pockets here. Another unique hero for MSC.
Mana Alifanya?
Can't wait to get a
Alifa mau ikut naik.
We're aiming towards 90. We still got like a week to go, so plenty of time.
Keluar.
I hope
Apa?
Aku pengen jogging, pengen nge-gym, tapi aku udah mandi.
unique hero picks come through because it's just been so fun to go through these drafts in this meta.
It is a blast being here watching MSC live in Paris, France. For those of you watching online, let us know who are you leaning towards. You might have favored Team Spirit. But
Hai Bang, nah ini ada Alifa nih.
Hai Bang.
Alifa naikin aja ya.
Sayang kok mau di aku ngelag.
Masa iya?
Iya, ayo ngelag banget tau di aku.
Masa sih? Enggak normal.
Kayaknya emang ini deh. Coba deh ini keluar dulu.
Keluar dulu apanya?
No. They got it wrong. Kaja doesn't do Kaja when he ults. He does a. It's a whip.
Okay. And I hear you do the barrel.
Alifa mau naik enggak Alifa?
Oh God, it could be. Yep.
Alifa mau naik tidak?
That's a lot. But it's surprisingly actually Hiko on the Paquito this time. So we thought it was a jungler all along.
Alifa
but
mana Alifa?
they
Enggak
decide
Bang.
to flex
Kok nggak
it
bisa
and
dinaikin sih Alifa?
Could we expect like maybe better synergy across the board though? Because this is looking like a Cho Eudora, yes.
I don't know. Right now, it's looking very TL.
Kalau Alifa nggak bisa dinaikin sih guys.
The composition of Team Spirit, putting Bomba on a Barats, it's like putting Sanford on a Barats. You know, it's like I don't want to see that.
Okay, so they have to make this work. At least that's what we're getting from now. And we take a look at the emblems too before we move on to this game. It's been a while since we've seen a Kaja, so I think it's still very usual. See the support emblems come through, the additional speed and the Brave Smite. Pretty much same across the board, I feel, for majority of our heroes this time. Oh, whoa.
Also putting Hiko on a Paquito. It's like putting Paquito on Teddy.
Oh, okay. You're still on.
Wih, makasih Alifa udah nge-share.
It's crazy actually.
Love you Alifa.
Udah gabung tuh kok dia tuh ngeliat sini nggak kelihatan apa-apa lagi malah item semua.
Masa iya siang? Ini di sini enggak, biasa aja.
Iya ini HP-nya ini. Ya harus beli HP baru sih.
But hopefully they work things out this time. We are seeing a more aggressive laning phase from them, to say the least, here in game number 2.
Oh my God, the Thunder's rat straight up. One shots, May. No, right now, first blood over to Team Spirit with a neutral objective as well.
Yep, a much better start. We can say that for Team Spirit right now that we're looking at the way they've
Kita nunggu Onyx aja ya guys ya, mainnya guys ya.
It's been very aggressive for Hiko, and at the same time, you see better coordination from Sao and Sunset Lover, which I think is something to expect because they're not on the Belleric anymore.
Ooh, the deadly magic didn't land on May, thankfully for Guangzhou Gaming. SOD goes wide.
Okay.
An attempt, you know, Sunset Lover flickers out of the way.
Yeah, it's a IMU.
Nah, ini TS kayaknya panas deh guys.
So that changes things a bit too.
TS mulai panas nih guys.
I guess picking up the Daytona's welcome, or either the Way of the Dragon more than anything here from Team Spirit's composition. But how are they able to utilize that? That's like 2 potential lockdowns or pick-off setups, and the damage is mostly gonna come from Recall. At least for now in the early stages of the game, but has Recall been having a good time? I think he's already at level.
Ternyata menghilang semua guys orang-orangnya guys.
Delaying the jungle. He's gonna lose out on a bit on the bottom lane, but pretty good to stop
somebody
Recall.
go.
You can see Zower. It's really capitalizing on the fact that he's getting so much more space, so much more room to farm up, a whole level ahead with a turtle as well. Sawo feels a lot more comfortable on hero that
Jangan lupa ngopi ya guys. Kita ngopi-ngopi dulu ya guys. Makasih ya Alifa, sayang aku.
Potentially, if they fail, I think that could be an angle for Guangzhou to just really go for the money.
Kenapa?
They have one way to get
Kenapa?
OE setups and not just either the Kaja or the Cho. If it ever goes down to a massive team fight, let's see, Spirit are now positioning themselves across the objective. It's not like Guangzhou are looking to contest over.
Ya kan nggak apa-apa, dia adik kamu yang.
Yeah. Guangzhou Gaming were able to control all the neutral objectives.
Ya nggak apa-apa kan, ini kamu ini.
For their late game. Position, space, everything to scale up. This time Team Spirit.
Astagfirullahaladzim. Ada sendiri dicemburuin coba, ya Allah.
Dragon kicks the Kaja back into Hiko. And it's
Ya
yet another pickup.
Allah.
They're really utilizing the strong side well. Zawa with the deadly magic, Zawa the walk up as well. The Purify already out earlier. Oh, that's the Ball of Thunder. Bang. Goes down to Moscow. Sai down. Hiko with the hits on the turret.
They've learned their lesson. They've learned their lesson. They gotta be the more proactive ones. They gotta be the ones starting it off.
Aduh,
And
ya Allah,
with this
guys.
lineup, they're definitely doing it. Mei has not had a single divine judgment in this game, and you could see that Sawo's just starting to feel it on this show.
It's like watching. Oh my God, Bamba. He's getting free turrets. Guangzhou Gaming are the ones reacting to everything, and it's not the right reaction either. They're trying to go mid.
Kayaknya gua mau ngedit video dulu deh guys. Soalnya kan videonya kan belum jadi ya. Saya mau mengedit video dulu. Setelah ngedit video baru kita nobar Onyx, ya nggak? Karena masih jam segini. Karena masih jam segini juga kayaknya. Tebak gua udah lama nggak live, jadi harus maraton lagi deh. Sepi soalnya guys. Nice banget cewek anjir. Mei.
You saw that. You saw Mei. He tried, but Guangzhou, it didn't feel like they were ready to follow up.
Ooh.
It's tough. It's tough.
Very tough. Recalls forced out of the fight. Tier 1. Free for Team Spirit. Sawo doing a good job on this show so far, and yeah, like you mentioned, man, Mei cannot really go for anything. That's gonna be a free purple buff as well. Oh, Ball of Thunder lands, and everybody Thunder's Wrath as well. Wrath on a Dryad. Holy moly, lands on Natalia. All 5 Natalias.
Okay, it's Guangzhou facing a 6.5k gold lead this time. Spirit have completely turned things around and are looking real good in game number 2. A potential game 3 is potentially coming for us at this point. If you take a look at Team Spirit and the current situation that they're in, because
Blue team has been destroyed.
touched on how maybe, yes, they can utilize the Kaja to punish some of the overextensions that have been happening or that could come out from Team Spirit, but I don't think we've seen any of those. It's more calculated backline engages from Zar just to force reactions out of Guangzhou. It's more pinpoint and precise way of the dragons coming in from Hiko. I don't think he even had to use the flicker as much.
Bukan, itu kan fotonya kan udah jadi. Tapi videonya belum.
They don't risk it as much though. There's still tier 2 turrets across the board.
Eudora is so annoying. Xing just walks up a bit too aggressively. He didn't even walk up aggressively. It was Team Spirit with a conceal, and he's forced to go back to Fountain. Tier 2 up top taken down already. Team Spirit with a 7,000 gold lead. We've seen comebacks before, but it is going to be very difficult for Guangzhou Gaming as long as Sai doesn't get space to farm. This has been a very difficult Moscow game. Like, Sai has just not been given any space, any lanes to farm up.
And how far behind could he possibly be? Because he's already 2 levels behind of Hiko. I think there hasn't been much opportunity for him to also take some gold to catch up, and Guangzhou are just really investing in defense right now.
Aku kan ngeliat statusnya si Abang Homatin ya. Apabila ada kendala, nunjukinya ke customer center. Aduh, coba sih serang customer center sih guys. Biar nggak gua yang diserang aja. Aduh guys, thank you Alifa. Apa? Hah?
This third item power spike might come through in like 10 minutes. Looking at the pace of the farm. Spirit gonna get this for free. There's no chance Guangzhou take it unless I gets an SOB.
Call centernya kemana sih? Iya, biar repot gitu tuh call centernya tuh.
Also still with the retry, just in case. I remember a crazy steal from Oheb last year against Onyx, also in the group stage.
I think everyone learned from that, you know, they're just starting to guard the bushes wherever or whenever there's a Moskov on the other side, but look at that gap between Sai and Hiko. It's
Oh my god.
7 to 4.
Oh my god.
It's the same gap for Sour and Recall.
Oh yeah.
The gold leads are placed where it's best. Even a 2,000 gold lead between the mid laners. Oh god. XC
Oh
would just
god.
tonic Bomba whenever he goes for damage.
At least they still have holy shields, but I think they're all gonna pop even before the Lord gets to approach the base. They've made enough room for them to utilize the Lord to its fullest potential, and Team Spirit, they're looking to take down a base turret right now. Sao goes in!
Uh-oh, Purify out already though. He's gonna get him down into the wall, right to the drive from Modi. Taunts everybody with a big whip as well, but it's not gonna take anybody down except, oh, a chomp. Purify out from Sao.
Yeah.
What is that damage, my guy?
Yeah.
Recall pulled back into the cards. The poker trick Sunset Lover again with the lightning. Modi stun, he gets away. Now it's Hiko and the rest of the team. Pulling it out, Zaur with the walk up again with the poker trick. Is that's gonna be the knockout strike from Hiko to lock Modi down. Zaur can't get the damage to take Modi out of side. Lands the SOD. 10-minute game for Spirit to equalize.
Such great macro.
Team Spirit mulai ngegas.
Usage of their
Yes.
lineup. Team Spirit have completely
Cepet
bounced
banget,
back
Cok.
here in game number 2.
Ditinggal ngobrol doang udah kalah.
The series. And we of course have to witness a
Aduh.
game number 3. It's all elimination and qualification matches we're expecting for today. And they're just one step away from all making it to knockouts. They're doing what they can. They're fighting until the very end. But Guangzhou, so many questions left in that fight. It did
Huh?
not look like the same Guangzhou we saw in game number 1. There was just very minimal proactivity, but at the same time, even if they wanted to go for more proactive plays, they get punished every single time. The Kaja play was read out here by Team Spirit.
And every time the Kaja got the Divine Judgment, it was always just a big whip because, I don't know, it was either on the Cho or on Bomba, right? And Sao and Bomba, they like that. Easy for them to retaliate with a chomp, with a re-engage, and it's just so much better to see these guys on proactive heroes instead of heroes that just were waiting for plays to be made on the other side while reacting to it. Again, Bomba this time.
Apa?
Hey,
Apa
didn't
yang?
like him on the Barats, but he did a fantastic job. Hiko
Oh iya, nanti tunggu ya Alif,
I
Pak.
think, you know,
Sana
I think it's
kok.
the Harley. I think the Harley was able to capitalize on these winning lanes.
Yeah. They need not pay as much attention. Harley could just do what he wanted to do, and Team Spirit, they were all able to do what they wanted to do. So I think it's about time we go back to the studio to talk more about what happened in this game.
You just said do whatever you want to do, and LaFell is here. So let's bring that back. Let's hold off, because this man given freedom, opportunity, man, it could get crazy up here, Naisu.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm with a bunch of Americans. I feel very free now. America.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy. That was
Apa yang?
one of the most nothing games I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Like that
Apa sih
game
nggak kedengeran?
brought me memories of when I was a child
Hah?
of watching paint dry. Right? But hey,
Ngelag.
the game
Apa?
was more entertaining than watching paint dry.
And you still remember them, I guess, so that must have been memorable for you.
Lampung kesini nggak tahu maksudnya.
No, because I was guessing. I was watching it because
Is
I
that
didn't know
why
what
you
color
are?
it was.
The way you are,
That's why the way he is.
So much paint. It's not good to inhale a lot of wet paint,
Hey,
man.
got jokes.
Maybe. Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, yeah.
Call
maybe.
Rain Man
Yeah.
again.
Guys, that was a big stomp. The average game for both of them
Just
lasted
game lagi,
around
guys.
17 minutes for Team Spirit, about 15 minutes for Guangzhou Gaming. That one was under 12,
Belum
about
masuk.
11 or so. So a very fast game, a stomp.
Di sana mak kalau di waduh nanti ya.
They wanted to,
Aku
man. I mean,
mute dulu
under the
bentar.
5-minute mark, they were already pushing Guangzhou Gaming behind their tier 2
No,
turret.
Guangzhou's just like,
Yes.
There you go.
Take this chair. Oh, take this mic. Yeah, go ahead. Like, Spirit could do anything. Guangzhou didn't do anything to stop them.
I told you.
All right, here we go.
Brigida,
That's
why'd you
Team
give him
Spirit.
freedom? Why'd you give him freedom up
Yeah,
here?
you
He's
want
acting
my
crazy.
telestrate? You want my
You're not here to
telestrate?
stop him.
Grab the telestrate.
You know what? I could tell us straight. That would be a
Freedom.
funny segment, wouldn't it? See how I do?
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
You do have something to break down, though. We also have some post-game stats as well,
you?
so maybe you'll hit the post-game first.
Yes,
and
I do.
we'll do a little telestrator later,
Sure.
just to see how it went. I think the big thing stands out. I mean, you see Hiko having a great game there. Everybody had a great game.
look at
Sour
all the
Egoist as well
zeros.
in the Harley.
Look at all the zeros. 0 turrets.
Zero
turtles. Zero Lord, 2 orange buff, and 3
marah-marah aja konsumen itu. Makasih Alipa aku.
In that game because they got Team Spirit took everything
Apa?
they wanted to. I mean, they had to dig down to get that spirit going, and man, did they do it with
Alipa
this lineup,
tetehnya
because, yeah, again,
tetehnya
you don't see
cemburu
this
sama
kind
kamu,
of- I mean,
Alipa.
this was a
Teteh
very
kamu
one-sided
cemburu
game.
sama
This was
kamu,
a
Alipa.
stop for that. I mean, you could see the reactions there too. So we asked them like, what adjustments would they have to make? They made all the adjustments, Rain Day.
Yeah, and it actually felt like the Mozkov, and I'm gonna dive in my thought on that because they played so well, so grouped, so focused on objectives. Head to head, they win 66.7% of the objectives against Team Spirit, and to go 8-0 on Turtles in this one, I mean that's pretty ridiculous when you consider their normal style of play, which to me felt like they weren't able to get. The way Moscov excels is not necessarily grouping up, but the way GZG excel is grouping up. How can they fix that, LaFell? What did you see going wrong? Because you've got your telestrator. I want you.
You know how the game goes so wrong that even Rain Day made an accurate analysis. Like, bro, why'd you play like that?
Apa?
That's not how you play Moscow.
It's like,
Hah?
Yeah, we're gonna be looking at the telestrator. I
You want
feel
to
like
stand? You want to
Siapa?
stand?
you're not gonna do. No, you stand down, sir. All right, all right. So first of all, let's talk about
Ya udah
the
sih, biarin sih.
synergy here in the draft because we got Kaja here. In case you guys don't know what he does, he whips people and then he holds them down. And then you're hoping for someone to kill the other person, right? But the question is, he doesn't have early burst. She kind of has the pens, and then she also like kind of depends. Like I would say that Guangzhou's biggest problem here is I would say mismatch of what each of the heroes want to do.
Yep.
And Belleric EXP is okay. The only problem is it's slow. So speaking of it slow, let's look at what happened.
Cek, what's up, yes?
20 seconds of
Segame
nothing
lagi ya,
happens.
segame lagi kita
Look at
off
the
guys.
minimap.
Soalnya nanti nunggu Onyx aja jam 8 ya guys ya.
Clumped up they are. We can see that the Belric's coming and it's like, oh, maybe I should protect that.
Never mind.
But then, you know, it's gone anyway.
Kita nunggu Onyx aja jam 8 live-nya guys.
And let's not do anything. And it's just, that's like the entire game. They're like, let's all group up together in case something wild happens. And nothing happens.
I know what it is.
Nothing happens.
Bang coba live FF pasti rame. Iya, nanti kita live FF ya. Nanti kita live FF guys.
like an American.
Aduh, ada kauci guys. Tahuan gua enggak?
July 4th.
Kan udah.
Please.
I love my...
You know,
Si
it's always
ini,
fun
istrinya
to see.
bos.
Sunset Lover actually had a fantastic game, and you look at that performance, I believe, on the Eudora again.
Istrinya
The first
bos.
game, it felt like they were surviving the Eudora. Their team was able to go around it, ignore it, maybe work and find a way to still have a win with GZG. But this game, starting 2-0, it was no chance for Valentina to catch up on the opposite side of things. Sunset Lover's control in this game, it needs to be dealt with, I think, at this point. And you have to consider, do we ban it or do we take it away?
You take it. Take it.
You can't spell Eudora without raw. She's strong, bro.
Yeah.
And also there's
Iya, abis game terakhir nih, game terakhir kita edit video dulu guys. Abis itu kita nunggu Onyx aja jam 8 malam ya.
Talking to someone who hadn't played Skyrim, man, it's like, come on, that's a part of the vernacular. You have to know that.
She has great crowd control, great damage.
Iya, namanya juga manusia ya guys ya.
Why wouldn't you pick it up?
They have to do it now. Ban it or ban it out.
Or ban it out.
Ban it out. We've seen
Ban it
teams
out.
do it that way. Just ban her out.
Well, that's a good question because Guangzhou Gaming now faced with a conversation that is going to lean them one way or the other, a little bit like this or that. In fact, speaking of that game, we had Guangzhou
Iya
Gaming
deh.
make a few decisions that might split the team a little bit earlier this week.
Manusia emas bukan manusia silver.
And right now we'll be playing a this or that, just to see whether the players are they on the same page or not. Okay, right now you guys can line up straight. So we
Ini apa
got
nih?
5 questions here. The
Lagi
first one
challenge.
is, first thing, after you wake up, do you brush your teeth or eat breakfast? All right, you know what? They all brush their teeth. Okay, come back to the middle. So now, before scrims, what's your routine? Do you shower first or don't shower? All right, now we know that they don't shower. So,
Kenapa?
which jungle heroes you guys prefer? Ling over there, Nolan over here.
Iya tah.
Only one person likes the Ling. So for this one, how do they like to warm up before a game? Playing rank or playing training mode? Oh, I thought more people would play rank, okay? And now, the last one. Who would you like to go on a holiday with? Either CY or me? Now we know who's friends with CY and who's friends with me. All right, looks like Guangzhou Gaming, they're all good. They are in sync, so no penalties for them. So thank you very much, guys. Good luck for your game, and we'll see you guys next time.
Sweaty scrims. That's okay, though. You know, at the end of the day, you're going to sweat in scrims. So if you shower before, you're still going to have to shower afterwards. I like the logic.
I mean, some people, they might wash away the mojo.
They might.
That's true.
They might wash away the mojo.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe. Might be more relaxed, too.
Different vibe, but then what was that also? They don't like, or they do ranked or training mode?
Oh, training mode.
Training mode?
What's up with that?
I've always warmed up in rank. I mean, first game of the day is ranked.
Maybe that's why we're just casters.
Maybe. You got a point.
That's it.
I'm just saying.
That's it.
We're good, but not that good. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Listen. I
know what I'm saying?
How about when you play ranked? Here's the question: is it before bed? Is it at night? Do you get it first thing of the day?
24/7 rain day.
24/7. Wow. Okay.
When shouldn't you play rank?
Haven't you seen us in the talent room?
Is that what you're doing with that tablet right there when
He's
you don't
playing
have
right
it?
there,
Because
man.
we're done with the telestrator, by the way.
You're
just AFK mid? Oh, we took it off. We know what LaFell's doing. You gave him too much control, Brigida. We told you not to do it. At this point, though, we have everything that we need because this game is absolutely unpredictable. Going to draft for the third and final time between China and EECA. The gatekeepers of top 8 trying to gatekeep China's last hope here at MSC, who are desperately looking to match the result on the women's side of making it into the knockout stages. Can May, right there on your screen, figure out what to bring to the table to get a win?
I gotta say, first of all, I appreciate that whenever something goes wrong, we throw it over to Brigida.
Yes.
It's her fault, not our fault. I appreciate that. And
yeah.
Number 2, I feel like it's more on the mentality of the game, because game number 2, clearly they just played scared, and that's not how you should play against Team Spirit, where you saw that in game number 1, just fight when you have the chance, and it somehow worked out. You kind of have to go back to game number 1.
It's tough to, put it plainly, because that's exactly how it felt. It just felt like they were kind of in this state of, we're scared to move around the map.
Limbo.
They were in limbo, they couldn't really move, and it almost was that mentality of, you know what, we're so far behind, just go next. And so now it's their chance for Guangzhou Gaming to make this happen here. This is why I was making the point earlier where it's like, yeah, you have to be able to bounce back from game to game even, not just from the days here, because after getting slapped like that in game 2, like how do you bounce back in game 3? Well, we've already talked about what can potentially happen in the draft, and that's really where it starts. And you just gotta have a better game plan here for Guangzhou Gaming if they want to move forward, because now the momentum is in favor of Team Spirit. And we've seen this before, where once they have momentum, they can usually take it just as quickly in game 3.
I'm only asking for one thing for Modi. Have a hero that can dive, something like a Yuzong, something like an Alice. That seems more his niche, right? Speaking of something like a Bellery, I guess he can kind of do that, but he requires the flicker. So I just want him to use someone that can dive in. That's like his identity. Don't stray away from that.
Well, the Paquito actually taken out by GZG and the Cho as well. The Atlas also denied by Team Spirit, who will switch sides this game. And Expanding Rivers, one of our fastest map choices. I believe it is the second fastest. And one of the interesting things about this situation, which as a fan of MOBAs, every team comes in with a different plan and blueprint. But in game 1, game 2, both teams get a blueprint of what works for them. And so this draft is so exciting because both teams are trying to deny the blueprint of success for the other team while trying to get as many pieces of what worked in the games that they won for themselves. But it also opens up another layer, Naisu, which is, will somebody have prepared to surprise the other team again? Will they have more in their pockets that they'll bring out that might just change the narrative completely?
I think this MSC already has shown us how deep the pockets of the teams and the coaches, and in this instance for Coach Sunday and Coach Coldstar, they might dive into that. If not, then they just play their best game. I mean, this is something that a lot of people have been talking about online too from previous teams that now have been knocked out. It's like, well, sometimes do you go for comfort? Do you go for those heroes or that style of play that's worked for you so long? Or are you forced to adapt in the current meta? And that's kind of what we've seen through the courses of this. So I think as you're seeing the bans, those are even different in this sense. So it's like the game plan is already going to change. This first blue pick will tell us where things want to go. Do they just grab the Eudora? Is there something better? The Hirara and the Ling still up for contention between them. It's going to be the Hirara for Guangzhou Gaming, at least now. So the trade that we expect, this team spirit, just take that Eudora.
Eudora as well as the Belleric. Something that we do have to put in context here, this is the decider match. Win, you make top 8. Lose, your keys get crushed. And I feel like that's going to be a difficult conversation between the players as well as the coach. They might have a hidden pick. And there's two different mentalities. Either like, if we don't show it, we'll never be able to use it. Or, it's like, it's just difficult whether you want to take that gamble or not. Yeah, you risk it.
Because the last draft, I would say, if you look at what Guangzhou Gaming was able to do, they looked uncomfortable on some of the picks.
Yeah,
it didn't work for them. So the answer right now for Team Spirit, go the Barretts, they pick it up, and the Eudora.
And I think this is actually good news for Guangzhou Gaming because it opens the Belleric for them, which I feel they had their best performance on. And then the Barat's also a good performance here, but was it so good because
dari tadi mic-nya gua ini ya gua
like
off ya. Sorry guys. Saya tidak melihat soalnya guys.
But there's the Uranus also, which is available at this point, which they hadn't seen, and the Lilia.
I'm slightly worried for this Lilia here.
Yeah, you're going to get comboed and instant black shoes.
And you're going up against a Fanny.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about this. Lilia is very aggressive. She does a lot of damage because level 1, she already has her combo. But the problem is her HP is so low. And the burst coming in from Eudora as well as Fanny, they don't need any items to really take her out of the fight. Like, even if she doesn't die, she's going to be so low that she can't do anything. So that, personally for me, is a very risky pick. And now with the Fanny being present, I gotta say Team Spirit opened up this draft very strong.
Yeah, not only that, but also just having this Uranus for Guangzhou Gaming. It's not like you can stop the Fanny from cabling through, or deal with the Barretts, or obviously the lock-on stuns that come with the Eudora. We've already seen it too. Eudora with one item is already scary to deal with. What more, 2, 3, and you scale up like that for Team Spirit. And this is something that, again, the Lilia doesn't really solve. Yes, maybe you can go ahead and help clear some of the waves. You do a pretty good amount of early game damage too, but based off these first 3 picks for Guangzhou Gaming, you have to be able to go ahead and scale up quickly.
Nah, kamu kemarin beli durian tapi berantem.
We've all seen Fannies just result to what we usually see with Mozkovs. Go somewhere else
Lucu loh,
across
guys.
the map, push that, put map pressure there. And my goodness, game 2 showed us
Ini kita pacaran tuh nggak berantem sehari tuh kayaknya nggak enak banget lah.
Seem to not know how to solve that.
It's also kind of a cool indication of where the
apa-apa berantem, berantem lucu anjir.
It's possible it's a region difference. It could be a player difference. Marcel, one of the only games he's
Kan
open.
mulai berantem nih guys. Perang dunia ke berapa udah nih?
Both junglers
Ke 49 apa ke 50?
Yeah,
which is like a surprise. He's got a 100% win rate.
Yeah, honestly, I even forgot about the Marcel. But yeah, Team Spirit can pick it up after this.
Yeah.
Honestly, gentlemen, looking at both
Gimana saya menanggapinya ini konsumen guys?
The best way to say it, and literally, go big or go home.
Yeah.
Because these are the drafts that you can win it super early, and now the Marcel gets picked up.
Good call.
I gotta say, Team Spirit, they can honestly like get the inhibitors by 11 minutes.
Yeah.
So where's that going?
Marcel?
Yeah.
He's going Rome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Going Rome. There's I don't think we've seen him flex anywhere else, but he's the most, I would say, the most annoying to deal with.
Golden Road, right?
Yeah, he's kind of like a mosquito, man. And
Ya
it's tough
karena
to deal
enak.
with Matilda and Brody though. So I don't know, man. Looking at this Guangzhou Gaming draft,
Go big or go home. Win all the lanes, push it, and try to end it by 12.
Thank you
does the
Ringye.
Matilda help solve the macro problem though?
I
Udah
think it
join,
helps
thank
either
you.
Uranus or Gerard. They're gonna go in
Thank
so
you,
deep,
Hen.
and then that's gonna be your backup option. But I don't know, like really for Guangzhou, it looks like all gas, no brakes.
I mean, are these not some of the 4 most prioritized picks in the entire tournament so far on the top side of Team Spirit?
So far, and then a Granger
Namanya
to
durian
cap it
Aceh.
all off to go
Namanya
against
durian
Vito here.
Aceh.
So playing range for range in the gold lane, but a lot of mobility for both lineups here across the map. And, you know, we've seen it before, though. Marcel's golden hour can either work for you or against you.
I gotta say, both teams want to go fast. Both teams put a lot of risk in this kind of draft. So this is one of those games. It's all about mechanics, man.
Mechanics. I gotta go with Team Spirit here,
Team
though.
Spirit, you like the draft. Marcel available, 100% win rate. You with Team Spirit as well?
Marcel, I'm gonna go with Spirit as well.
Literally.
So Guangzhou will probably win it.
100% pick ban, 100% win rate. Guangzhou Gaming let Marcel through to Team Spirit. Do they know something we don't? Because if they win, they're
lanjut guys, game kedua. David Riantono, thank you udah join.
It is Team Spirit gatekeeping once again. Let's send it back to your casters, Mirko and Brigida, for our final game of Series 1.
Go big or go home, as mentioned here by our studio, is the game plan and is what is reflected based on this Game 3 draft from both sides. Both are favoring Team Spirit though, Mirko. Would you say that you're also on the same page?
Honestly, if you look at the draft, if you look at the prio, it makes a lot of sense. You know, the Granger for the strong side as well, that outrange against the Brody. The Fanny and the Tower Egoist as well. But Guangzhou Gaming, this time around, it really feels like they're just trying to capitalize on the mistakes of Team Spirit. And it doesn't look bad. The Uranus against the Barats. The Barats picked up, I think, way too early as well. They did well in the previous game, but I guess we'll just find out here as Guangzhou Gaming will have mid prio for the most part with this Lilia.
Okay, hold on. So,
Go to cable, forces out the revitalize. All good.
So, we did say it's looking like Guangzhou kind of capitalizing on Spirit and the draft, trying to react to it a bit more, but we're hopefully just seeing that in terms of the draft, because I don't think it'll pay off to be as passive when it comes to the game, and you're seeing it even in the gold lane matchup. Both gold laners so upfront and aggressive in terms of the laning.
Yep. But it is Hiko who has to burn the flicker first, so that's a massive advantage for Guangzhou Gaming as they look to dive past this front to back that Team Spirit wanted to play with.
Thank you Muhammad Teguh, join Muhammad Teguh.
And Guangzhou Gaming have set up a brilliant freeze. Hiko's gonna be forced to lose out on a few minions here.
Wow.
Or maybe even die, right? Like he has no flicker, he can't just walk up.
And that's two of the marksmen with maybe or probably the longest range to just
apakah TS atau ke Guangzhou yang bakal masuk ke perempat final,
guys. This first hurdle is gonna pan out. You see Guangzhou taking a hold of it, Recall starting it off, but there's still Sao, there's still a threat about Marcel, but there is no golden hour just yet. So I feel like Guangzhou are still somewhat trying to take control over this.
And again, the disadvantage of the Fanny with now purple buff. Look at his own coming out, retreat battle. It's gonna be won out by Sour still, despite no purple. Recall gonna fall to first blood as well. Sour pops in a revitalize to keep everybody healthy. Spirit with a massive win. Thunder's Wrath in the mid lane, just one more splash of damage. Sunset picking up yet
Anjir,
another
TS udah langsung 3 aja guys, luar biasa guys.
So unfortunate for Guangzhou. They wanted to start that out. It was Recall trying to actually get some damage in for the objective, but looking at where Recall decided to position himself to, the fact that it was both Kid Bomba and Zara Ego is just locking down onto this jungler and making sure that there was no other way he could go in for the contest on the objective was what granted Team Spirit that win. You have to pay attention to the zone as well, Gav. You have to pay attention to where you actually position yourself, because if you're somewhere anywhere near walls, Zara Ego is just gonna have the time of his life.
And if you see that replay, man, Modi, he did all that he could to stop Bomba from getting the chomp down on towards Recall, but Bomba flickered past Modi. My God, beautifully done by Bomba to secure that neutral objective. That's how Zauer was able to just walk up, get the retreat for free. Recall not caught on that spot, able to go for a golden hour, catches them all in place, and Hiko is gonna build on the Rhapsody. Another pick off up top, and it is against Sai on the Brody.
And this is how you like to see the Eudora being played. Now that they're ahead, now that they are actually being the more aggressive combo. And it's also probably because of Sao, just the way Sao moves around the map, which doesn't make things any less or any more difficult for Sunset Lover to just also go in with the flickers, because you are fully aware of where to anticipate Guangzhou Gaming too. So that was a flicker play you got to see from Sunset Lover. That was a burst landed onto the right target, and this is going to be a problem for Guangzhou, because you see a lot of I think targets for Sunset Lover in this draft, honestly. You could consider so much people to just use your burst damage onto. Oh, if that cable actually landed. Okay, they're gonna get out of this, but does Kid Bomba had the flicker.
Even the chomp to get away. Made with a circling Eagle Bomba. Oh, that's a very sad. Dino Revitalize. Oh my god, saves him. There's no damage from Guangzhou Gaming.
Padahal udah pada sekarat, Cok.
Even after all that, a good stun coming out on Modi as TS are able to clear out the wave in the bottom lane. Sour, no purple buff, recall on the neutral objective, and this time Kid Bomba does not have that chomp.
Oh, revitalized this time from Guangzhou too.
Aduh, masuk Fanny.
Now the red tree.
Air nggak dapat, guys.
Recall. Stays patient on the red tree. Waits for Sour to show it.
Fanny udah nggak ada retri sih, harusnya diwarin tuh guys, di buff Fanny.
Okay, at least if they weren't able to get anything down that engage in the bottom lane, they were able to convert it into something. The fact that they at least had to send one member of Spirit back and they weren't really prepared to take on that objective was already a win in itself for Guangzhou. Kid Bomba, did he get anything from that?
Got the Purify out of Xing, but that's about it now as the torn apart memory comes around, but the double flicker goes for Sunset and Hiko to get away. The dinosaur won't have a good time there. Gunned down, taken out Modi.